Bless them. Hey, yo, with Sean Paul, there ain't no second guessing, and you are checking out Acton Entertainment. Keep it locked, you know what I mean? Dirty, yeah. Yeah, someone that I did a song for a couple years back was involved in the producing of the song with Cardi. And she loved it. But of course, you know, if you're hearing something for the first time without hearing what it was at first, then to you it would be okay, that's great. But to me, they chopped up my whole song to make a piece of something, and I wanted to be in the studio with her and make a whole of something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do work like that. I have worked like that before, but in this case, I wasn't feeling it. I felt that me and her could come up with something that was way hotter than what they had put together. So that was my whole problem with it. So it wasn't about Cardi. I rate her. I just didn't rate the choppy production that happened. I mean, everybody tries things, you know what I mean? So just unfortunately, there's a lot of steam on her at this point, and there's been a lot of, you know, people that can do that to my career over the years, because I voice dancehall music, so we voice all the time, and some songs kind of get put on the wayside for a while, and this one kind of brewed its head back up. So yeah, I didn't love it. I think we can do something better. Yeah, I haven't found nothing yet. That's the same thing, you know, with everyone who I work with. I'm like, yo, let's find the rhythm first that sounds like with this latest single with J Balvin. When I heard the track, I was like, this sounds like J Balvin to me. I'm gonna write something that sounds like me and him. So, I haven't heard something, no one's been playing me nothing like that. I mean, everybody that comes to me with tracks is trying to give me dancehall and, you know, certain things like that. And I don't think I would go really dancehall with her, maybe a dancehall hybrid. But I mean, she's trap, right? So I'd like hit off trap with her for real. And that's what that first collab was anyway. That put together thing was like a dancehall track she was spitting on, and it was sampling stuff from my verses. So yeah, that's why I like work mostly. I mean, I do a lot of work over the internet as well, but when I feel an artist that much, I kind of want the opportunity to create with them, you know? No, I haven't heard from her in a long time. I've been very interested to hear what's up with this album. You know, the first, when she did the song Work, I was told that by people, just in general, and it was, I think, out in, you know, popular news that, oh, she was gonna do a dancehall album. So when I heard Work, I was interested to hear the rest of the album, and the album seemed it wasn't dancehall, not the rest of it. So I was kind of disappointed in that fact. I did like songs on that album, but I was looking forward to hearing a dancehall album to her. So just like from her, I mean. So just like now, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I want to hear what she's come up with. She's a Caribbean girl. I know what she likes in terms of certain dancehall music. Me and her, we did songs together, so kind of bounced off that vibe. And, you know, I know kind of what she likes. So I'd love to hear the rest of, I mean, in terms of dancehall wise, I know what she likes. And I think that, you know, I'm eager to hear it. Yeah. Yeah, that same one with what's her name, with Cardi. So there's been one or two others. I can't say me and Ashanti been in studio, which we wanted to do, and this was way back in the day. Wanted to do something big, but the rhythms that we were hearing at the time in the studio was just whack to us. So nothing really came, and we just vibed, and that was it. And then we left the studio. We didn't do nothing that time. So yeah, other than that, no, who else? Yeah, balance is important in everything in life. So there's times where I do feel like I gotta ease back on putting out music. Lately, I've been feeling like to do more and more though. So there's a couple more things coming out. Yeah, saturation is a very real thing. You get tired of hearing the same thing every time. If you got up every day and put the same exact clothes on, you would be bored of how it look, right? So after a while, that does happen, and you can't oversaturate yourself as the artist out there. But it all depends on what the artist feels like, and what he thinks his fan base needs from him. And at this point, I think people like what I'm doing, and I'm gonna continue. The last time I really tried to cut back on putting music out, I think a lot of people thought I was bowing out, like, all right, bye. And I was like, nah, I got music. I was just told you too much out there. Just ease off a little bit. So coming back from that was kind of course, it wasn't like when I was just beginning, but it was a bit strenuous then in terms of vibes, because you have to kind of double prove yourself now. So for now, I'm just gonna put out songs, not focusing on albums, just songs for now. The market's really crazy, so I don't think albums do as well, and a lot of songs can get missed. And so I'm just putting out songs every couple months now. It starts with the song and the rhythm for me. You know what I mean? If the person has a great song and the rhythm ain't great, we may voice, but we spend months going back and forth over how it sounds. If we're there and we have a great rhythm, we're gonna get a great song. That's just how I look at it. It's how I feel. So those two things are the most important for me. You know what I mean? Everybody gotta get paid. So after that, we talk about that. But there's also a lot of favors that each artist and producer kind of does in the business for each other at times. You know what I mean? And it kind of depends on my leverage on, like, am I doing more for that artist or not? Or are they equally helping me out with just the vibe of the whole project? So I weigh that in my head, and I charge sufficiently, or what you call, that money part comes after. But for me, it's about the track and the song. Yeah, you get it sometimes in terms of, like, they call it a writer's block. That can be just that you've just been doing too much. You can't play loud music in your ears 24/7. You get numb. You know what I mean? So likewise with everything else in life, there's certain things that we're talking about balance just a while ago. So there's certain things that you just need to balance, and sometimes it's too much on one side. So I kind of ease off of the writing thing. I have a song with Rita Ora. We have a couple of collabs, but we're trying to find the one, and I think there's one that we're gonna use. It's called "Call on Me." It's a very meaningful song. It's about family and friends and being there for each other and things like that, but not in a corny way. Because when I say that, it sounds corny. But yeah, it's about just being there for those people. I did a song with Tiesto, and Sia is on the track. So that's something that people probably didn't expect from me, to work with Tiesto. However, I've worked with so many different producers, so. Yeah. Like, when artists are being mentioned a lot and coming up in the game, it's kind of hard to get in touch with them. It's a runaround. You talk to this manager, you talk to that one, but it really wasn't. It was really cool to work with them in that respect. They hadn't gotten bad and bougie yet, but they're still big and talked about in the business a lot. So on reality TV as well. So I was like, see if they would hit this track up with me, and it was a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man, I was glad to actually, when I was engineering it, we were mixing it, I wanted him to go first. um, and you know, people were saying different things, and I was just like, you know, I think his verse is really dope. He nyam it up, so yeah, we put him first. Yeah, yeah. Producers, they would be like, "Oh yeah, that's dope," and you're like, "All right, cool." And then about an hour later, after you guys are listening back, they're like, "What were you saying? What did you say?" And I was like, "How can you say it's dope when, like, when you know, like, you didn't know exactly what I was saying? Like when you don't hear the word plays, you don't hear how kind of smart I'm being with the lyrics in the song. You just like the melody and it's on key to you, but you don't hear more things. You know what I mean? In other words, so there's artists, no, sorry, there's producers that I've worked with that you know, I can tell that they know. Oh, they know I've given the light and whatnot, but they haven't done any more listening to my albums to find out, like, you know, songs like Time Rolls On, which is a very meaningful song for me. Never Gonna Be the Same, which is another meaningful song. So like, you know, they come at me with wanting to do like a popular topic, and I'm like, it just don't seem like or sound like me, you know what I mean? So we don't connect that way. There's been a couple of those, and it's mainly producers that you can tell, like, this person really don't check out the vibe, you know? Yeah, we just got an idea for a video, and we went and shot a piece of the video earlier today. Uh, yeah, ideas come all the time, you know? It doesn't matter where, and so it's like music is the place where I live, you know what I mean? In my head, like, so it doesn't matter where in the world I am. Music makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel at home, and you know, just getting into that vibe. So I do have my drum machine on tour with me. I jot down little ideas on it every now and then. I work on it over time. Sometimes some rhythms are like instant hits to me, and I'll record on them. Or sometimes I'm working on them to a point where it gets better and better. Just like songs, some songs come quick, some songs come, you know, a little bit, take a little while. So yeah. Nah, we're supposed to get into the studio soon. There is a good vibe that they sent me as a demo, but they want to be in the studio, and both of us kind of busy here and there, so we haven't really penned the time yet. Should be sometime later this year that we get together and finish that demo that they did. I don't know who did the track, but it was Swiss who sent it to me, and yeah, dope song. I don't know, it's a reggae one drop beat, so I don't know, and it was really nice sounding, like, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure if it was Swiss, because I know him for hip hop. If he's made that you know, musical connection as to how to produce that so good, because it really sounded good, that would be pretty cool. But in my gut's telling me it's not him that did the track, but he probably had a lot to do with picking it out and helping along those lines, you know. Yeah, Ty Dolla $ign is somebody who I always liked his vibe, you know. Maybe one day that could happen. Other than that, yeah, I'm checking out enough different vibes, you know. XXXTentacion was somebody who I was checking out for about 3 years before he passed away. My brother kind of introduced me to what was going on with him, and at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I started liking the vibe, you know, and how creative he was. I just thought he was an angry kid at first, but then I heard a lot more of his music, and I was like, oh wow, there's a deepness to him that I kind of liked, and I wish that, you know, we had seen more of. A$AP Ferg's pretty cool, but then I hear that he's like, he stopped his career or something, like he paused his career. I don't know if that's a rumor, but it's funny because I just got a verse from him on a rhythm that a producer has. So there's a song with me and him. It's about like just wilding out and them kind of vibes, but it's more hip hop oriented. I'm not sure where that song's gonna end up being, but it was a few months after that I heard that he was contemplating leaving the business. So I haven't even reached back out to him yet. But yeah, I thought he's pretty dope. Yeah, man, I see him. He does like he sometimes sound, like an R&B singer, and then he's rapping, he's doing his thing that way. Similar to Tory Lanez for me, like they can rap, they could sing, they could spit, like in a Caribbean way. That's Tory. But with Ty Dolla $ign, it's yeah, he has a lot of different type of vibes. Touring, finishing this tour is next. I got another tour in Europe later this summer. I'm looking to put out a single later this summer called When It Comes to You. And then I'll put out another song after that with Rita Ora, which is called Call on Me. So that's just like a few months down the road. I'm also producing. We're about to drop the Callaloo Rhythm, which is, Dirty Rock Productions producing people like Ching Ching, Spraga Benz, myself, Charlie Blacks, Deli Ranks, host of artists, Soto Bless. So that's about to come out on June the 14th. Callaloo Rhythm is about to drop. A couple other productions from me, from Dirty Rock Productions, in the next few months as well. I voiced a song with an artist named Squash in Jamaica that should be coming out soon. He's an upcoming artist which really has blazed a trail for himself last year up to this year, and he's doing well. So I'm looking forward for doing music with kind of new wave people them right now. So yeah. It's been everything. I mean, you take everything with a grain of salt. Every criticism, as well as the things that people think you should go and do, which they might think is positive for you and your career. So that's how me and management works. Sometimes they suggest things, and I might love it, and sometimes they suggest things, and I'm like, I'm not down with it. I don't want to do that. So it's ultimately up to me, but to take advice from people is a good way to kind of help navigate yourself through the business. It just feels good to know that your voice can reach certain places, and people feel close to it and want to come to watch your show. That's an amazing feeling, man. So I have to thank the fans for over the years who has been there, throughout my career. Helping to guide me, because when I go to these stage shows, I get to know the songs that they really like, and then that guides me towards either expanding on that vibe or just doing some more of that for now. So I give thanks to the fans every time. I never really thought about that before like that, but traveling has definitely had an impact on my life in general. So, but in terms of music, as I said, wherever you are, music makes me feel at home wherever I am. So that's why it's something that's just so close to me, and me wanting to do music like that is it's important for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would say since a lot of trap music started to happen, dancehall music kind of slowed down. We still have a big Jamaican contingent all over the States, and the music lived through those circles, and those channels. But when trap music started to come along, it was kind of crazy in terms of it doesn't play in the club same time with each other. It doesn't mix well together. So that's why I thought the collab with me and the Migos was pretty cool because it kind of did blend the two genres in the rhythm, and that was a good vibe for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you have your own control being independent that way. Um, so if you do not want to, like the purpose of someone signing you is because they think that they could sell whatever product you're creating. So they're gonna want to push you in certain directions, and it's, as I said, up to you ultimately. But I mean, why even worry about that when you just want to, even if you don't care about the sales, you just want to do it for your own feeling in your heart and for the people who you meet and online also, those people who you might meet or come across online, and you don't mind that, then that's great. Why would you sign? Because then there are things that they're gonna want you to do, like go on a TV show. To me, I hate TV performances. I don't like them. I like performing. If you want to tape it, then fine, but I don't like going to a TV show and they have the sound check and they have this and it never sounds right to me in my ears, and then there's the studio audience there and they cheer, and it may look exciting and it is a big thing, but I don't love it. And as an artist, I would rather just perform to my own crowds. You know what I mean? So, and if you're more oriented that way, then why would you sign that they would put you in a position that you have to go and promote a record and whatnot? You could do it online and do it your own self, and yeah. I pray to get to just have more time with my fam nowadays. That's a difference. Other than that, same Sean Paul, man. The most challenging time I would say was when I first started. I loved it, and no matter what it threw at me, it was great. But after about 2009, that period we're talking about where it started to digress in the States, like not play as much in the States, and people kept telling me like all of those years, bro, you're big and people play, your songs play all the time. But I was doing new music then, and it wasn't being accepted on the radio stations there, or it wasn't being played, in general in people's cars and whatnot, or in the clubs or all of that. So, yeah, that was a trying time for me because for me, USA is the closest, biggest English-speaking territory to where I am, which is Jamaica. So, to tour it would have been a hop, skip, and a jump. And now that I'm those years and now I'm still, as I said, a lot more popular in this side of the world, in Europe and UK, and that side. To come all the way over here to tour, it's kind of crazy. But when you are popular everywhere, you have to go everywhere for tour still. So, but America is a big market, and not that I'm upset that Europe loves me and UK. I love that, but just losing that big market to the way I had it in my clutch, it was kind of like upsetting to me, and it was a hard thing to go through. But it taught me to dig deeper, and now I'm finding songs that, and I'm just ride it out. You know what I mean? Because now, after the trap and the EDM and all of that hit the world, now people are ready for dancehall again, and it's coming back in the form of Afrobeat and reggaeton, and it's coming back in its own way through people who are doing pop records, and myself and other people like me. So yeah, it's good. You just have to know the timing. First time I felt famous, it's way back. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. Nah. Doing my first thing, which is a big concert in Jamaica. I remember being there in the crowd, looking at the artists and the band on stage for 5 years before that, going every Christmas. I was like, that's me next year. That's me. That's me. I wanted to be up there. So being up there, 1997 was a big thing for me back then. Yeah. I don't know. Trees keep coming into my head. Trees. Yeah, trees. The world needs to be more green and have more trees and myceliums.